I like the idea of kits. I don't like backpacks or rucksacks or packs with lots of pockets. I like kits. I like to be able to grab a whole kit and go with it. I carry a shotgun pretty much every time I go in the woods. I'm a big black powder guy. I reload all my shells with black powder, so therefore it takes a lot of cleaning. I actually saw this kit on Amazon. I think it was less than $20 shipped. A portable shotgun cleaning kit. I know you can use a cord and pull your cleaning rags through your barrel to clean them, but I didn't like that. I wanted some sort of rod where I can actually push the if I get something jammed in there like a shell, where I reuse my brass, sometimes a shell won't eject. This way I can put this rod together, ram it through there, and don't have to mess with a stick. I got to thinking about this after I got this. I've used this a few times. What else could I put in here to try to eliminate some other things in my pack? First thing I noticed is this hard plastic piece. Very bulky. I don't actually use the cloth directions. Real Avid is the company that makes this. But, I don't use, pretty much the wire brushes are the only two things I use. The other two items I do not use. I, use oily rags when I'm swabbing out the barrel. Never had a need for anything else. I do like having this, I guess it's a clean and wide pusher. I use that for a toggle a lot when I'm pulling. So like I say, my thought on this is to kind of put a couple different things in here and make this kit a little bit more usable, so to speak. Let's see what we can come up with here. The rods are in a elastic strip that holds them together, which I like. I'm actually not going to cut that off yet. I might be able to reuse that. Another thing I carry is a repair kit, so to speak. This is French Army, I believe. Typically, if I don't use something more than a couple times, I actually go through and take it out of my pack. I see no reason to carry stuff that you don't use. So if I don't use it, say 2 trips have gone by and I don't use it, I usually get rid of it. Except for first aid and this little sewing kit that I keep. And I think I can actually pack this down a little bit. Make it a little bit smaller. And squeeze it all in here. Put these needles on here. Actually, these big needles held pretty good on this. It's pretty neat French writing on it. It actually says 15 meters worth of thread. I think I'm actually just going to carry one safety pin. I have never used a safety pin. So that gives me a couple upholstery needles, a couple straight needles. It's got a safety pin. I've got some string. I've got a couple cell needles and a leather needle. Actually, don't want to jam that in there. I like to have a little something for it to go over it. And I keep a can opener. I've never used it, but it's so light. I almost feel like I should. Wrap it in this cotton cloth. Also keep a sharpening stone, the small Arkansas whetstone. Keep that in there. Dental floss is a good source for thread, plus it's obviously good dental floss. I do a lot with artificial sinew, especially with the leather work I do. This is something I've always had in my kit and just always kept it there. Readily available and cheap. I was looking, this thing has a ridiculous amount of room. Gorilla tape, I love the stuff. I really like this 1 inch. I don't know where I got it. I got it locally, but I've actually not been able to find it here recently. I've looked for it. Some steel wool, good fire starter. It's also good for me to use, if I get a little bit of rust or something on my barrel. I do keep about 3 foot of paracord in here to swab the barrel with. This paracord has actually been gutted. It is just the outside section. This case is thick. Like I say, the toggle I like. I'll keep that in there. I was looking for some sort of bottle to keep the wire brushes in, and got to thinking while I was sitting here, I just cut this off and use it. I just don't think the bottle of oil is going to fit in there. I don't know as if I really want that in there anyway. Have it leak all over the place, it would be a mess. So there's a little kit. I've actually combined 2 or 3 different items and got it all in there and ready to go. Gun cleaning kit. I've got sewing repair kit, sharpening stone, steel wool, and some tape. I do have another option for the oil. My big army surplus guy. I got these pouches. I don't even remember what army they belong to or anything of that right now. That fits in there pretty good. This actually may be a good idea. This can be worn on your belt. Keep it, if I'm doing overnight or it rains or something of that nature, I can at least wipe off the outside of the gun without it, rusting overnight or between rainstorms. I don't think there's enough room in here to actually put the whole gun cleaning kit, but that's an option. Well, just wanted to give you a quick look as to my thought process on kits and how to put them together and what you can do. I don't like this. I don't really like. I like leather. I'm a big leather guy, and I'll see how this works. I'll carry it for a trip or two. I may not use this. I may end up making a pouch that is a hair bigger than this. If I did something that had like 3 pockets this size, I could slide, the oil, the rag in one pocket, all this stuff in another pocket, and maybe do another pocket for a headlamp and batteries, for example. That would be, you know, a kit about that big. That's a good size to fit in an Alice pocket on it. You know, the outside pockets on an Alice pack. I don't know. I'll just have to play around with this and just see how it does.